Okay, these are some flower pots that we've cleaned out. The flower pots actually had flowers in them this year. I've cleaned them out. I didn't put any bleach in them. There was nothing in them that had any signs of any disease. So if you're planting in the soil, you're not going to bleach the soil every time you plant something, and I feel it's just about the same way with a flower pot. Now, if I do have a problem with a flower pot and the plant look diseased, by all means, I am going to go ahead and bleach that pot. In this pot, I have soil. We actually raised a heirloom tomato in this. I had, during the summer, Moscovich tomatoes in actually 5 buckets here on the deck. And this tote, I have vermiculite. You do not want to work with vermiculite unless it's wet. So I've got this very, very moist. You do not want to breathe the dust on vermiculite. It is great for holding moisture in your soil, but vermiculite also is known to cause problems if you actually breathe it in. And you can use, if you would prefer, use coconut coir. I've used coconut coir before. It does well in holding moisture into the soil. Just remember that both coconut coir and vermiculite add no nutrients to the soil. They're simply added to hold moisture. On our deck, our pots, our flower pots, are going to be baked by the sun. It's not like a plant that's down in the ground, so I like to add quite a bit of moisture retention additives to my soil just to help. I will say that on my flower pots, when you buy these from the store, they typically don't have drain holes. I take a drill and drill little bitty holes in the bottoms of the pots just to make sure that my water does drain out of the pots. For fertilizer, because I am going to revitalize this soil, I'm actually going to use mushroom compost. Okay, I brought up another tote, and now I'm going to take and put about 1 shovel of the vermiculite, 2 shovels full of the used potting soil, and 2 shovels full of the compost. And I'll continue to add that to this individual totes in those ratios until I can mix together enough soil to fill the 2 flower pots. If you don't have another tote that you can use, you can also mix this mixture in your flower pot itself. Just take a small trowel and make sure that you get it mixed thoroughly. There's not any problem at all with mixing it in the flower pot itself. Once I have the flower pots full of soil, I always like to make sure it's real damp before I start planting any seeds in it. So take your water hose or a water bucket, whatever process you want to use, and apply quite a bit of water to the pots. Okay, now that I have my pots with plenty of soil in them, I'm going to start putting the seeds in. In each of these pots, I'm growing two different types of lettuce seeds. Actually, one of the pots has a lettuce and an arugula, because we do like arugula as well as lettuce. Now that the seeds are planted, I'm taking some of the potting soil that I've just mixed up and I'm covering it very lightly. You don't want to get it too heavy, but I am going to put a very light covering of potting soil across the newly planted seeds. Once this is done, I will bring out the water hose again and I'm going to moisten the soil on top of the seeds. I have our flower pots planted now and I have moved them over to the shade. As I stated before, the sun bakes everything on our deck. So until the seeds have sprouted, I definitely want to keep them over here so that the sun doesn't dry the pot out. We at Tennessee Mountain Garden hope you've enjoyed this and our other videos. We do hope that you'll subscribe to our channel. Our channel is like any other YouTube channel. The more subscribers we get, the more we can do. I sincerely hope that you'll feel comfortable sharing our videos with your friends and family or anyone that you think might enjoy this little instructional video on how to garden in a very small space.